Hi there, Chris, chap in the cap, Motolegends. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we did a video review about a commuting suit for £1,000, and that was in response to a number of people who had contacted us who said that after the lockdown, because they didn't want to travel on public transport, they might be going into work by motorbike. Could we recommend an outfit? Now, a lot of these people said that they were putting their toe in the water, they didn't want to make a full commitment, they didn't have massively long commutes. What could we recommend that was going to be good value? Now, that review that we did a couple of weeks ago, that based it on £1,000 as the maximum figure for a jacket, pants, boots and gloves. So now what we're doing, we're going back, we're going to revisit that. We've pushed the budget up to £1,500. So today we're going to look, if you have an extra £500, you want to get a suit for 1,500 quid, what would we recommend? So when we looked at that suit a couple of weeks ago for £1,000, a commuting suit for £1,000, what we ended up with was the Richa Infinity Pro laminated suit, Shark's Evo ES modular helmet, a pair of TCX X5 Gore-Tex boots, and a pair of gloves from Halvarssons called the Orbit glove. Now, the suit, the Richa Infinity Pro 2 suit, happened to be laminated. We did not set out to choose a laminated suit because a lot of the people who had contacted us said that they were only going to be undertaking a short commute. You certainly don't need a laminated outfit for a short commute. But when we looked at suits that were available for £500, or maybe this is just from Motolegends, there are not many, and the Richa suit just stood out. The fact that it's laminated was, as it were, a bonus. We did not set out to choose a laminated suit, but at £500, that just stood head and shoulders above anything else on the market. Now, this time round, we're looking at an outfit for £1,500, so an extra £500. But some people are going to take the view that with our choice of garments, especially when it comes to the jacket, they're going to suggest that we've taken some kind of step backwards, because the jacket that we're going to recommend is actually a drop liner jacket. But we are still of the view that for 95% of motorcyclists, a drop liner jacket, or a drop liner suit even, is better for most people because it delivers a number of things that you don't get with laminated. So I'm going to come onto that obviously in a minute, but I'm just forewarning you that we've gone from a laminated outfit in the £1,000 outfit to a drop liner jacket in a £1,500 outfit. That might seem to be retrograde, but there are reasons for it, and I'm going to come on and explain. So for this £1,500 outfit, just nominally, what we've allocated is around £850 for the suit. That means the jacket and the pants, which will obviously have to zip together. £200 for a pair of boots, £350 for a helmet, and £100 for a pair of gloves. Obviously that comes together to £1,500. So let's go have a look. Let's see if we can come in more or less on budget. So the jacket that we have chosen to be part of our £1,500 outfit is the Veen jacket from Halvarssons. It's a favourite of ours. We've sold thousands of these over the years. Thousands of customers are really pleased with it, and we here love it. It is the most comfortable jacket or most comfortable motorcycle jacket you've ever worn. And there are a number of reasons for that. Partly, of course, it's because it is a drop liner and not a laminate. Now, laminate suits are great in heavy rain, but when you back up a waterproof membrane onto outer fabric, it makes it stiffer, so it becomes less comfortable. This is a drop liner, it is really comfortable. Things like these side adjusters mean that if you don't want to wear the thermal liner underneath it, or you want to put extra layers on, you can adjust it up or down, you can cinch it nice and tight. It is just beautiful to wear. Lots of bits and pieces on this jacket that you should know about. I'm just going to run through it very briefly. You've got this windproof collar here. The inner jacket is called a destination jacket. It's made of Outlast, but also with a material called Innerborn, which is a bit like Thinsulate. It's a very warm jacket, but actually Outlast, which was developed for the NASA space program, what is magical about it is it will also cool you down in the summer. It's very technical stuff, but it really does work. You've got a Dryway Plus waterproof membrane. Halvarssons stuff doesn't leak. It's a very reliable membrane. You will never get wet in this jacket. You've got good venting. You've got vents here on the front. You've got a great big exhaust vent on the back. You've got High Art lining the jacket in all the most vulnerable areas. High Art is an anti-abrasion material, and it increases the strength of the outer fabric by a factor of 6, so 500%. So this is an amazing jacket. Now, in terms of the drop liner element, the problem with a drop liner, potentially is that after 3 or 4 hours in the rain, it can wet out. Water enters the fabric, starts to swill around, can make you feel very cold. It makes the jacket feel very heavy. But the reality is that not many of us spend that long in the rain. And if we're talking here about commuting, on an hour's commute, this is not going to be an issue. Now, I suppose if you rode in for an hour and a quarter, certainly an hour and a half, and it rained really hard, it could be that when you came home in the evening, the jacket was a wee bit damp. Unlikely, but it's certainly possible. Similarly, if you rode home for an hour, hour and a half in really heavy rain, the jacket could be damp in the morning if you left it in the garage, but if you took it in and dried it out, it wouldn't be. The problem, I think, and I think this is a problem that has been created by Motolegends to an extent, is that we have all become totally obsessed by staying dry. We've gone and shouted about the merits of laminate, but the fact is laminate is not right for everyone, and it is not the best solution in our view for 95% of riders. It just does not rain every day, and when you're commuting, it's going to rain one day in 10 or whatever the proportion is, but when it doesn't rain, this jacket is going to be so much nicer to wear than a laminate jacket. Now, if you aren't concerned about the waterproofing, there is a very simple and quite inexpensive solution. Obviously, the benefit of laminate, water can't get in. But on a laminate jacket, this will still get damp. So when you're riding along, the wind chill factor and a damp jacket can still have an effect on making you cold. The solution is to buy something like this. This is one from Scott. It's a fabulous waterproof jacket. It's actually a laminated jacket. When you wear that, water cannot touch or will not touch this fabric at all, so it stays bone dry. But also when you wear a waterproof jacket over the top, you've got a second waterproof, so you've got a second windproof membrane. That's going to keep you even warmer. So if you are bothered about getting wet and so on, there is a simple solution. Just carry with you, and that's not a very large package. You can find a place to put that on the bike. Just carry a waterproof with you. So where do we get to on this? This is the most comfortable technical motorcycle jacket out there. It's a world-class piece of kit. The thermal inner destination jacket is amazing. The jacket is rated at AA, whereas the Richa Infinity Pro is rated at A. You get level 2 armor in the elbows and the shoulders, whereas on the Richa Infinity Pro 2, it's only level 1. Now, is this worth the extra money over the Richa? This jacket is going to take an extra £170 out of your budget. So certainly, I think that is a bit of a no-brainer. It is easily worth the extra £170, but I'm cheating a little bit because actually what you're going to need with this jacket is, or I think you need, and I would certainly recommend if you're going to be commuting, is a back protector, and this jacket does not come with a back protector. Now, our recommendation would be to fit a Furigan D30 back protector, what's called the T8. It's just much nicer than Halvarssons' own version. It is level 2, it's super soft. We have a modification of this so it fits with Velcro because this takes armor with Velcro. So what you have to take into account is actually that's going to cost an extra £50. So whereas the jacket itself is £170 more than the Richa jacket, with that it's going to be £220. Is it still worth it? Yes, I think it is, because when you're commuting, it's important that you're comfortable on the bike as often as you can be, and you are going to be more comfortable wearing this jacket. So here on the Motolegends YouTube channel, I know we don't always make things very easy. I don't know whether the subject matter is complicated or whether we just make it more complicated than it needs to be, but I'm aware that sometimes you have to really concentrate to follow what we're saying. And that's never going to be more the case than it is here, because having banged on about the benefits of a drop liner jacket over a laminated jacket and why you do not need a laminated jacket, I'm going to confuse the heck out of everyone by recommending here as the bottom half a laminated trouser. So that's going to seem bizarre, but I'm going to explain why. Now, the pant that Halvarssons actually recommended to go with the Veen jacket is a pant called the W pant, and it is, like the jacket, a drop liner pant. It is perfectly fine. Now, we have chosen this pant, and we do in the shop when someone comes in. This is always the go-to pant. This is a pant called the Wish pant. We always go to this, not because it's laminated, but just because we prefer it. It is a nicer cut, it's a slimmer cut. It's just as comfortable as the W pants. Now, again, I was explaining how drop liners are more comfortable in theory than laminated garments, but that just doesn't seem to be the case here. This is a really comfortable pant. So our view is that this is a pant that costs £50 more than the W pant, which doesn't seem a lot. You get the laminated thrown in. We've not gone for it because it's laminated, but for £50 to have the added benefits of laminate with no trade-off in terms of comfort seems to us to be a bit of a no-brainer. So that's why, bizarrely, drop liner jacket, laminated pant. Now, in terms of some of the other features, we also find that this is a pant that fits a lot of people. It comes in 3 different leg lengths, so short, long leg and regular. You've got waist sizes from 28 inches all the way up to 44 inches, so again, fits a lot of people. The laminate membrane is a 2-layer. It's a Dryway Plus membrane. You get braces as standard. You've got good vents here on the thighs. You've got high art, which is that anti-abrasion material I mentioned that increases the strength of the fabric by 500%. And you've also got a zip out, Outlast and Innoborn liner to keep you warm in the winter and actually to help you cool down in the summer. So when we compare this with the Richa pant, there are a number of differences. The Richa pant was rated as A under the new EN 17092 regulations. This is rated as an AA, so it is potentially a stronger, safer product. The Richa pant, because it was an A level, only came with armour in the knees, because that's all you need to do with an A-rated garment. And that armour was only level 1. On the Wish pant, you get level 2 as standard in both the knees and the hips. So the summation, as far as I'm concerned, is very simple. The Richa pant at £230, laminated pant, amazing value. It does pretty much everything you want. You have to spend a few more quid to get the hip armour if you wanted that. The Halvarssons pants is £399, so that's a full £170 more. But we think in just about every respect, in comfort, in warmth, in protection, it is a better pant. To us, this is the pant to go for. It is worth the extra money. So the problem with the outfit that we put together a couple of weeks ago, the £1,000 outfit, was that we had problems finding gear, finding 4 items that came in under budget. We had to seek out items of extraordinarily good value. And in truth, even though our budget has gone up this time from £1,000 to £1,500, we found it difficult to find gear that was demonstrably better. So as far as the boot's concerned, we're going to talk about the boot now. We had allocated last time a price of £160 for the boot, and that bought us a TCX X5 Gore-Tex boot, a fabulous boot. This time we have £199 or £200 for a boot, and we looked around and there's not a lot at that price point. So we've ended up with a boot called the X Tour, again from TCX. It's an amazing boot. The problem with it in truth is that it's selling out. It won't be around for that much longer. But this is the boot. What's extraordinary about it is that it's an almost carbon copy of the Daytona Roadstar. So much so that I'm still amazed that they didn't end up in court with Daytona. It merely reflects the fact that Daytona are not those kind of people. But in so many respects, the boot is identical. Very similar looking boot. You've got the articulation panel here. You've got the double zips. You've got the same Gore-Tex comfort liner, reflector on the back, the calf adjuster on the back of the boot. It's an almost identical boot. Now, it's got to be said that the Daytona is clearly a better boot. There are some things you get on the Daytona that you don't get with this. This is a slightly narrower, slightly less comfortable fit. You don't get a shank in the sole, even though this has a commendably strong sole. You get a lower grade non-hydrophobic leather. The leather that Daytona uses is just fantastic. And of course, you don't get one of the main things that you get with Daytona, which is the ability to have a boot repaired, because when you buy a Daytona, you can send it back every 5 years. You end up buying a Daytona boot for life. But this is still an amazing boot, and it was originally, when it came into the TCX range, it was priced at £260. It's now £199. So that's a lot of boot for the money. And what you have to bear in mind is that the Daytona, which is, albeit better, a very similar boot, that's priced at £410. So that is more than twice as expensive as this. So this boot comes in under budget. We are very pleased to have been able to do that. It's a great boot, but in some ways we're cheating, because in 6 months' time, this boot is certainly not going to be available. So as I mentioned in connection with boots, we have found it difficult to move up a level with just the small amount of extra budget that is available. And that is very much the case with helmets. In the £1,000 outfit, we ended up with the Shark Evo ES. It is the least expensive, but in some ways we think it's the best of the Shark modular helmet at £270. It is extraordinarily good value. Now, given that this is a commuting outfit, we would like to go for a flip lid, and the obvious flip lid to go for, because it's a little bit less expensive than the Shoei, is the Schuberth C3 Pro. But even in plain white, which is always the cheapest colour, that is a £400 helmet, and that is just too much. That is going to blow the budget. So the helmet to look at is this one. This is the C3 Basic. It is the preceding model, and it is at this point in time still on sale. Now, when a manufacturer replaces a model, updates it, you get lots of minor improvements. And I suppose looking at this, one would have to say that the new helmet, the C3 Pro, is 10% better. It was a much more expensive helmet. So the C3 Pro at present is 33% more expensive than this, but it's only, in our view, a 10% better helmet. It is still a fantastic helmet. It is still one of the quietest helmets on the market. It's got a drop-down visor. It fits comfortably. When you buy it from Motolegends, because we've been running a particular offer on this, it comes with the highest quality Pinlock 120. So it's a fantastic package, and that comes in at £300. There are a couple of downsides. It comes in 3 really rather boring colours, because Schuberth are in the process of discontinuing the helmet. So you can get it in a gloss black, you can get it in a silver, and you can get it in a white. The other issue is this: having said that they are discontinuing it, it's now being discontinued quite quickly. It is being sold off, and this helmet is going to disappear certainly in the next 6 months. So a little bit like the boots in that respect. Right now it's available, but you'll need to be quick, because this isn't going to be around, I would imagine. I think you'll find this difficult to find at the end of 2020. The other helmet that came into our orbit is this. It's our favourite do anything, go anywhere full face helmet. It's a Shoei. We love Shoeis. We get the ability to change all the cheek pads. We can get a perfect fit. It is a really quiet helmet. It is really well vented, super comfortable. It does everything. The one thing it doesn't have, in truth, is a drop down sun visor. Some people find that important, and certainly if you're commuting, some of the commuters here who are going east to west find that the sun visor is important. But that's the one thing it's missing, and that comes in also at £300. So it's a fantastic value helmet, but I've got some more bad news. This seems to be a bit of a recurrent theme. It is in the throes of being discontinued. So it's still available now, and I think it will be around for a while. But again, moving into early next year, the importer reckons that they are aiming to sell out by early 2021. So if you want this helmet, and it is a fantastic helmet, if you want a full face as opposed to a modular helmet, that is certainly one to look at. Now, the other helmet that we've looked at, and we've looked at it because it is available, is this helmet. This is the Shark Spartan GT, not to be confused with the Shark Spartan, which was another helmet, or is another helmet that's in the range. This looks very similar to the Shark Spartan, but actually it's totally different. There's barely a single component in common with that predecessor. It is a fantastic helmet. Shark designed this to be a competitor to the Shoei GT Air 2, and in truth it's not quite, but it's a much less expensive helmet. It does the same thing, so it's got everything you might want. It's got a really tight neck roll, so it's quite quiet. It's got a drop down sun visor. It's very comfortable. It's well vented. It is a great helmet. It's a little bit more expensive. It's £340. That still is manageable within the budget, but that depends what we spend on gloves. So this comes in at £340, and if you want a helmet that you're going to be able to find fairly easily, this is the one to go for. It's a great lid. It's got a drop-down sun visor, which of course the RYD doesn't, but if you want a full face and you want a drop-down visor and you want to come in more or less under budget, then this is a helmet that you should look at. So as with the £1,000 outfit, we are going to recommend for the £1,500 outfit a summer waterproof glove. And that's because a summer waterproof glove is the most versatile kind of glove that you can buy. Obviously you can get a summer glove, and that's going to be great on high days and when it's warm, but will be useless when it's cold and useless when it's wet because it won't have a membrane. A winter glove will be fantastic in colder weather, but wearing a winter glove in the middle of summer is just going to be unbearable. So a summer waterproof glove has a membrane. It's going to be wearable on the hottest days. You may find days where it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's going to be bearable. And then when you get to the winter or you get to the colder months, the fact that you've got a membrane will make it a little bit more bearable. And of course, you've got a membrane. But ultimately, if you're going to be doing a lot of commuting, you're going to need more than one pair of gloves. Now, in the £1,000 outfit, we ended up looking at two different gloves, the Beast from Halvarssons and the Orbit glove from Halvarssons. We ended up with the Orbit glove because, frankly, it came in on budget and the Beast didn't. So for this outfit, we're also going to be looking at the Beast, but the glove that we are going to compare it with, because we've got a little bit more budget here, we're going to compare it with a glove that's a little bit more expensive. It's £20 more expensive, and that's the Richa Atlantic. So let me just talk you through both gloves. So this glove, the Beast. Summer, waterproof, got all the things that you're going to need. Good protection, it's a really comfortable glove. It has got Outlast in. Now Outlast, rather like the material that comes in the Veen jacket and the Wish pant, is a liner that is going to keep you warm in the winter and cool you down in the summer. This is probably the most versatile glove on the market. It's a fantastic glove, so we have no qualms about putting this into the list for the £1,500 outfit. But there is another glove that is pretty close to it in price. That's a £99 glove. This is a £120 glove. And in some ways, the spec on this glove, which is the Richa Atlantic, is somewhat better. It's a laminated glove, whereas the Beast glove is a drop liner membrane. This is a laminated glove, so technically it's more waterproof. But it comes with all kinds of materials and premium components that you do not get with the Beast. You get things like a visor wipe, you get a D30 knuckle protector, you get super fabric on the palm and down the side of the hand. Super fabric is the most abrasion resistant material you can use on motorcycle clothing, and it's a Gore-Tex glove. So it is an amazing spec for £120. Now, where do we end up? The fact is, in some ways, this is a nicer glove. On certain days, and if I was riding just in the summer and the spring and the autumn, I would probably go for the Richa. But in that we're trying to find a glove that's going to work for the maximum amount of the year, I think we've got to end up with the Beast at £99 or £100. It is just unbeatable. It is the glove that we are choosing to go in as part of the £1,500 outfit. So let's summarise. Where did we get to on the £1,500 suit, and did we manage to come in under budget? Well, we allocated £850 for the suit itself, and £450 for the Halvarssons Veen jacket and £400 for the laminated Wish pant came in exactly on budget. But we particularly wanted to throw in a back protector, a D30 back protector. That's another £50 on top, but if you're going to commute in a suit, you really do need a back protector. That takes us £50 over budget. Let's see if we can catch it up later. In terms of helmets, there were three options: the Schuber C3 Basic, the Shui RYD, or the Spartan GT from Shark. Now, all fantastic helmets. The Schuber is an amazing value bit of kit. It's got everything you might need. It is not quite as good as the C3 Pro, but at £300 it is somewhat of a bargain. But we have not included it in our final selection because this video could be on YouTube for quite a while, and by the end of 2020 I don't think you will be able to find that helmet anywhere. The same thing, you might have a little bit of a longer time frame, but the same thing really goes for the Shui RYD. It's our favourite all-round, does everything, suits everyone, works on any bike helmet. The RYD is a fantastic bit of kit. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's well vented. Everything about it is wonderful. The only thing it's missing is a drop-down sun visor. £300, again, a bit of a bargain, but because you may not be able to find it, we have not been able to put it into our final selection. So what we've ended up with is the Shark Spartan GT. It's a mini Shui GT Air 2, a great lid. It's got a really tight neck roll. It's really quiet. It's well vented. It's got a drop-down sun visor. You could wear it on any bike. That is a £340 helmet. That still brings us in £10 under budget. So very happy with that. When we came to the boots, in our £1,000 outfit, we had the TCX X5, an amazing boot for £160, a Gore-Tex boot. It was simply amazing. We were finding it difficult to come up with a boot that came in under the £200 mark. And we were lucky with the TCX X Tour in that it's a discounted boot. That was on the market until fairly recently at £360. It is an amazing boot in that it's pretty much a copy of the Daytona Roadstar. So at £200, you're getting a boot that looks like a Daytona Roadstar, not quite as good, but a very good boot, but it's half the price of the Roadstar. So we think that is well worthy of its place in this selection. When it came to gloves, we were back down to the Halvarssons Beast, which we looked at in the £1,000 review, and we put that up against the Richa Atlantic. The Richa Atlantic has a slightly better spec with super fabric D30, it's laminated and it's Gore-Tex. In some respects it's a better glove, but if we're looking for one glove to wear all year round, then the Halvarssons Beast gets it, and that's £100. So on that analysis, we come in at £40 over. We come in at 1,540. So we've gone about £40 or 3% over budget. If you wanted to go the whole hog, and we haven't included it, but if you wanted to make this suit absolutely perfect for commuting, then you would go for the £85 Scott Ergo Pro on top. But as I say, we haven't included that. Now in the next few days, we're going to look at two more suits. We're going to look at a £2,000 outfit, pushes up to the next level, and then we're going to do one more, which is the money no object, loads of money outfit. We're going to do that hopefully before the end of the week. So there we are, that's our selection for a £1,500 outfit. So if you want to see more jackets, pants, boots and gloves, visit the website motolegends.com. If you want to learn more about this particular grouping of products, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes those links are up there, sometimes down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. Now when you're there, you can check out the spec in a bit more detail, you can check availability on the items in question, and obviously if you like any of those items, you can buy one or them there and then. Now when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on any item of protective wear that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you want to return something to us. We have the best price guarantee in the business. Now John Lewis is rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anyone selling anything we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that competitor's price by a full 10%. If that retailer is in the EU and not in the UK, we will match their landed price. Now there are a few terms and conditions, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, then I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. If in the future you'd like to receive bulletins from us about new products, then if you go to the website, at the top of every page there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there, within seconds you'll be in business. In future you'll receive bulletins from us. If however you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, then we would be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Now this is 2020, and just before the end of the year we're going to be giving away a motorbike. We're calling that a Steve McQueen tribute bike. It's based on a Mutt 125cc machine. You can read all about it on the front page of our website or on the homepage of our YouTube channel. Finally, I'd like to make a little play for our fabulous shop here at Motolegends. We're about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. The shop itself is small, it's got a fairly small footprint, but it's attached to our warehouse where over 3 floors we have more than £2 million of motorcycle apparel. Technically that makes us the second largest motorcycle clothing shop in the UK. But we think that we are far more than just the amount of merchandise we have in the building. We're about service and we're about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come and see us, we'll sit down with you. We'll serve only the finest illy Italian coffee or proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. Anyway, this has been Chris. We hope to talk to you again soon.